want to try to mess up my character, bro. Because they're envious of me because I'm the broke traveler for this whole time. Got 207 people in the building by just chilling, just being myself. You hear me? You hear me?
The last month has not been favorable for the passport bros, especially in Latin America. We all heard about Floyd Wallace Jr. and what he was arrested for in Brazil for doing some really heinous things to people under 18. Let's just put that.
Damn.
And so there have also been YouTubers who have lost their YouTube channel for being a part of the passport bros. One was GMO Jackson Carter. Thank God. And then there was the homie Skylar Duran, who I really don't think should have been banned. But there is a guy who probably should be, and his name is NYC Da Future. Woo! Now, NYC Da Future is a guy from NYC. I believe he's 44 years old, and he's in the new era of travel bros or passport bro YouTubers who will do anything to get money, even beg and have live stream fundraisers to get other people to pay for his trip. He's very similar to Rello in that regard. And he also is controversial.
I had a whole video yesterday, I told her I private the video, so I'm about to go downstairs. The police about to be here. I gave her the money. Or somebody must have messaged her on WhatsApp.
Wait.
What? I'm not recording you. I'm not just me and I'm not recording. What happened? I did not do nothing to get in trouble for police. Why police?
Now, in this clip, it seems like he was recording some lady. I don't know if he was clapping, but she called the police. Maybe he put this on the internet because he was trying to save himself. But the reality, these certain guys tend to have problems wherever they go, especially in Latin America. But outside of this problem, he finds himself in other trouble.
Condone you speaking to an 18-year-old girl when you're 40 years old, let alone you talking to a girl who is actually 17, and you admittedly said on your own live stream that she looked like she was 16, 17, and you still went for it. Bro, you smoked yourself, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of how I feel about that. It's kind of self-explanatory. There really is nothing else for me to say about that.
I want to give a shout out to the Homies Hub. You guys got to check him out. He's a really, really good YouTuber from New York City. Very, very good edits and stuff. So I was basically following up on what was going on when he mentioned this whole situation about NYC Da Future, but it gets worse.
Bro, you out here dealing with 17-year-old girls. You don't know if she's 16 or 17. Like, bro, you can't be that horny, bro. You cannot be that horny, bro. You cannot tell me you left a job to go to DR and chase box, and then the box you chasing is underage box on top of that. Now you making everybody that even endorsed you look crazy, and then we come into this space and wonder why this space is so degenerate. Look at what is supported.
Damn.
So NYC Da Future not only allegedly was dealing with a female that might have been 16 or 17, although he said that she looked 18.
Stop the cap.
But also what is going on with this dude is that you quit your job at the airport to live in Dominican Republic full time. Now, NYC Da Future is a 44-year-old man. And if you're 44 years old, that's typically around the highest earning points, 40s, 50s, sometimes early 60s. And, that's kind of when you make the majority of your money so that you would save that money for retirement. And so when you decide that you don't want to work during your 40s and then beg online for donations just so that you can go to the DR and clap and live there illegally, it doesn't really make sense. So, basically this guy admitted on a stream that pretty much he was kicked out of an apartment because he did not know the female he was about to deal with was under 18. But he tried to come on and defend himself.
Look young. Okay, that's where we're at. So you met her, she looked young, but she told you she was 18. So keep walking us through what happened. So you met her, y'all hung out. What happened after that, Future? Right, y'all hung out, what happened?
So after that, okay, then obviously with the IDs thing, then he's looking because he wanted to. Supposedly, he said that this is his first time ever meeting that girl that I was talking to, right? Supposedly, that's his first time seeing her, right? But later on to find out that that's that girl's best friend, though. So I don't know he say whatever, I mean, but supposedly that's his first time ever meeting the girl that I was talking to, right? So he was talking to me like, yo, I don't know, bro, yo, she was kind of young, and then he takes out the IDs and verifies it and says, okay, yeah, the girl that I'm talking to is 18.
So he's saying that the owner said, oh yeah, he checked the girl's ID and the girl's 18. Well, there is some level of evidence that the owner of this apartment that kicked him out found out that NYC Da Future, he was dealing with a lady that was not 18. And I want to give a shout out to K9, No Fear Entertainment for that clip, and also Razor Ray's YouTube channel for sourcing this information. So everybody's been after this guy in the passport bro space because normally these are the dudes that take the space down. If you see what happened with Jay Rello, these are guys who don't have a lot of money. Floyd, all these dudes beg for money, and they're the ones that actually make the most crimes overseas or commit the most chaos. If you look at Jay Rello, he always begged for money, had no real employment. We saw what he did in Kenya. Floyd Wallace Jr., the same thing. Always begging for money online, scamming people. He goes to Brazil, doing the same thing. Now, this guy has the same particular economic situation as the other two. And we've already seen that he's been having some trouble in the Dominican Republic, not because of what I'm making up, but because of what you see right here. And then when people are roasting him up for his behavior, here's what the guy is doing.
I'm gonna let y'all carry whatever narrative y'all got, because some of y'all got nothing else better to do. I'm the only topic, you know what I mean? So, I mean, y'all need to get y'all views up, get y'all videos up. I'm seeing people I never even heard of make videos. I'm like, yo, hey, have fun, enjoy yourself, man. Thank me later, though. Thank me later for y'all views and whatever y'all get, man. Subs and stuff like that. Thank me later, yeah?
So now it's nobody has nothing better to do. You know, there's no level of accountability. You got to get your views up and all of that. And this is pretty normal behavior, you know, trying to turn a situation in which basically he put this out there. He did it to himself. But anybody who's commentating on the issues that clearly you brought up, now it's somebody else's fault. Somebody got nothing better to do. This is the same guy who begs for donations all the time, though, right? Woo! And all that and this and that. But wait, there's more.
But what I do want to say before I even get people out here, bro, yo, I don't condone. We don't mess with anything under 18. You heard? Y'all hear me? Y'all see me right now, right? Stop playing games with my name like that, man. Stop playing games with my name like that, bro. That's for anybody, you heard?
So people got to stop playing games with his name, right? But wait.
People get set up every day, B.
People get set up every day, B. Now, let me just say this. I don't really know NYC Da Future. This is the story that's just going out and going around. He may or may not have done it. I mean, I don't really know. According to him, this is what his own calamity was. He admitted it on the stream. But the problem with guys like NYC Da Future is, you know, like I said, first of all, you can't really afford to be over there, bro. Like you can't. I live overseas. Living overseas is hella expensive. Okay. If you're living overseas and you don't have a business, you don't have the US dollar following you, and you know, you don't really know what's going on and you're not busy every day. And this is one of the things about a lot of the travel guys. They have a lot of idle time. And so when you have a lot of idle time, all you're doing is just, you know, if you're not working, eating, clapping, going around, or scamming. Got him! And so you're not really doing anything productive, because if you do have a business overseas, you're typically going to work a lot harder than anybody else. Being overseas, dealing with, you know, power outages, dealing with, you know, rain and they local last water. It's just hard to be there. So, and especially if you're living in a place where people don't speak the language, it's a challenging thing to do. And so if you're profitable overseas, you're busy. The problem with this guy is he doesn't have anything going on. So when something happens over there and it comes, you know, to that level, you know, automatically the passport bro's got a bad reputation. A guy like this that is, you know, begging for money, sometimes raising money to do what he's doing, he's going to have a problem. And what he should do, I'm not saying he's guilty or not, but what he needs to do is leave. He should try to get his job back and build himself up in America. Like I said, you know, it makes a big difference for guys. If you are an American, you live in the United States of America, and you're successful in America, you have a much better opportunity of being successful overseas. If you're unsuccessful in the greatest country in the world, when you get overseas, you're going to be unsuccessful too, because the United States has unlimited damn near resources for if you want to get your stuff together. The dollar is strong. It's so much things you can do. You know, you have access to equipment to bring over to your new country. If you can't be successful in the cheat code, you're not going to be successful in the DR. You're not going to be successful in Africa. And women are not necessarily going to like you in these new places. Why? Because, like I said, you still got problems you got to work on, man. And again, you know, having underage chicks, like I said, in your room that look 18 or look 17, and especially if you're a dude where, you know, you are 44 and he admitted that he was trying to get her, you know, get the number and trying to clap, and, you know, he barely had any money to pay her. I mean, it still looks bad, because even if you are 44 and the chick is 18, it's a big difference. You know what I mean? People gonna look and be like, well, why is he wanting somebody that young? Or like, he can't get nobody closer to like 25, 28. And you just make it look bad for the rest of the guys. This is what a lot of the passport bros don't understand. When you guys go out there and y'all do this, you don't just embarrass yourself. You embarrass everybody in your community. Black, especially. All right. Americans, for the most part, have a good reputation, but you guys make it worse. Anytime you guys have a situation over there, or any of us have a situation over there, they're going to come back and they're going to look and say, okay, here those guys go again. I see we got the passport bros again. You know, they're having these issues. This is what they always do. Every time we let them come over here, we try to deal with them. This is what happens. Okay. It happens all the time. See, this is why they dusty. This is why they down bad. And so again, you guys can do whatever you feel like doing. It's your decision. But again, you're going to lose your YouTube channel over there dealing with them women. All right. And if there's anything coming bad about Passport Bros, they knocking people down. They knocking down folks off of Airbnb already. They taking your channels just being associated. So brothers got to really, really be careful out there because the stigma is out there and it is not good. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Oshay Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of Industrial Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.